try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where, yes, as you can see, I took the plunge and removed the Tokyo Marui PSG-1 from her box. Here she is in all of her glory. Whether that was a good move from a collector's standpoint, probably not. But I don't think I could be one of those collectors who keeps everything in shrink wrap all the time in the hope that it's going to be worth some more money in the future. I wouldn't ever look to sell this rifle unless I absolutely had to. You know, the recession is upon us and all the rest of it. But suffice to say, this is pretty much the unicorn in my collection right now. Some of you will know this rifle already. There was a short I put out on it just before Christmas. This was a present from my other half, who did fantastically well not to only find me a mint condition Tokyo Marui, but to find one that had never actually set foot outside of its own box. This was boxed brand new, all the tags, all the labels, everything still on it. It's never turned a gear. Actually still has the trades on it as well, which is super rare for one of these. Obviously, the later the run got, the more of these had to be defaced and discoured because obviously Tokyo Marui never had the licensing for the PSG-1. Suffice to say, like I say, this is pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime rifle, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Taking it out of the box, I was super tentative with it, treated it with kid gloves, so to speak. Did I still enjoy it? Absolutely. This is an absolute dream of a rifle to shoot. It feels essentially brand new, because it is, to all intents and purposes. It cycles beautifully, the pre-cocking works. Is it the most powerful sniper rifle you'll ever come across? Absolutely not. Chrono clocked this thing in at 296 FPS, which I'm led to believe is actually pretty good for one of these. It's not really a sniper at that range though, is it? And we are talking 0.2, 0.25 gram BBs at the most. It's probably actually a really good matchup for my L96, which we spoke about earlier in the week and that kind of thing. It'd be an interesting showdown between the two of them, 10 years apart. But yeah, a really lovely rifle. And because it is brand new, mine suffers from nothing. You know, there's no creaks, no wobbles. The optic is tight as a drum. And I tell you what, the optic is actually crystal clear. I never expected it from something that is essentially a replication from Tokyo Marui. It's thrown in the box with the rifle, all part of the cost and packaging. And I kind of expected it to be a tiny bit naff. But no, this thing is crystal clear. And because this thing fires like an absolute laser beam as far as it can fire, the optic seems pretty much dialed in as close as I'm going to get it right out of the box anyway. It's yeah, really nice. Could the impulse be slightly stronger? Absolutely. I'd say on the whole, the impulse from the recoil system in this is, and as badly as I reviewed it, very similar to the ASG Hera Arms, which I sort of insinuated that the recoil was so weak you could forget it was even there. It's the same sort of scenario with this. I would suggest, however, that because this is single shot and you are more than likely sitting quietly, trying to line up your shot, being that super sneaky sniper and all that kind of thing, you're more conscious of it when it happens. So that goes in its favour. It doesn't need to be super strong. Would I have loved it to have kicked like a mule? Absolutely. But considering this is technology from a decade ago, the fact that it's even here is a testament to Tokyo Marui and their ingenuity and that kind of thing. And like I say, the build quality of this thing is absolutely superb. This is absolutely rock solid because it is essentially brand new. There's no creaks, no wobbles of any kind. Not that the handguard doesn't creak or whine in any way. There's no give in anything. It's an absolute dream rifle. I'm so, you know, to sound like a early 90s sort of TV star, I'm stoked. I'm absolutely stoked with this. But yeah, no, it's absolutely gorgeous. Was I ever going to give it a bad review? No, let's face it. I'm absolutely in love with this thing. And that brings me down to my problem. And it's a personal problem. What should I do with it? And this is what I'm putting out to you guys as a bit of a poll or something. Comments it down below, please. What should I do with this rifle? I'm in two minds, or maybe three minds, to be honest. One part of me says this is an absolute dream collector's piece. Keep it in its box, or certainly keep the box stored away somewhere super safe. Maybe mount it to a wall for display purposes and leave it alone. That's what my head says. My heart says absolutely play with it. Take it out, skirmish it, take it to game days, show it off, let everyone see it, and enjoy it. Enjoy it how it should be enjoyed, how Tokyo Marui intended it to be enjoyed when they built it in the first place. And then there's something sort of in the middle where I say to myself, it deserves to turn a gear, it deserves to shoot BBs downrange. I can do that perhaps in a controlled environment, not take it to skirmish game days where potentially it could scuff up against a wall, or, you know, I could take some of the paint off of the front barrel if I go prone and on a rock or something. But use it for videos on the channel, put it up against other stuff, make some cool intros with it, that kind of thing, whatever. And use it in a controlled environment where I can be very tentative to it and look after it and that kind of thing, but still enjoy it a little bit. My concern is obviously parts. Where do I go if something breaks internally? I know some things are interchangeable, possibly with G3s. I'm quietly confident that the cylinder is actually very similar to Cyma's SVD SVU range, or I'm led to believe by what I've read online anyway. But there's certain proprietary parts you aren't going to replace ever for love nor money, and that does concern me, because I wouldn't want to lose what the rifle represents. You know, I know some people, when these things break, they stuck a HPA engine in it and turn it into a proper rifle. And yeah, I can see the point of that. If it's already broken, using it and turning it into something that looks fantastic and performs fantastic but isn't necessarily the original Tokyo Marui, there's you know, logic to that madness. But you know, when it's all working, when it's all in A1 condition, I kind of want to keep it that way. I don't want to deface it in any way, you know. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I put it to you though, what should I do with this rifle, and what do you think's the sensible thing, or, you know, what would you do? Okay guys, that's been it for today. Thank you very much for looking at my Tokyo Marui PSG-1 with me and admiring it in all of its glory, and I'll see you in the next one, and I look forward to reading your comments.